funny thing is, I already know what's going to happen in the future for me. I just don't know all the details because I haven't taken the time to do it, and I don't want to for my own life. I don't want to see my own life because in order to see it, it would take that much time. I would have to learn how to basically sleep my life when I'm sleeping and visualize it and then live it that way. But I would have to sleep almost the same amount of hours so that I could remember it in detail in order to produce it. And I don't want to do that. But since I spend my time thinking of other things and doing other exercises and working, and my mind is on those things, I'm creating my life from that, and all the things around me that I'm seeing out of the corner of my eye or that are going on in my reality are producing more of the same effects. So therefore, I know my future, but since I'm not looking into producing it and living it the way that I know I could if I really put that much attention on it, since I'm not doing that, it seems like it's happening to me instead of me creating it. That's how easy it is. You could imagine what you want to do and then do it all the time. When it gets into other people, you have to have their cooperation. But then you would have to talk to them to show them your vision so they can follow along to make it as accurately to your depiction as possible. That's basically what reality is, but on a scale where we have billions of people all with their own ideas trying to interact and not agreeing because they're not taking the time to sit down and talk about it. So when it gets to the court, for example, my ex hasn't talked to me in years and she refuses to, and that's her right. But as a parent, it shouldn't be her right to not talk to me if it's about our kids. And that's where our court system has one of the flaws, is that she hasn't talked to me. She's formulated her ideas about past events, whether they had to do with who I was then or not. They are not now, and they are not what we're pertaining to. Her idea of me, triggered by one thought, or one or two things that the kids may have said that they took out of context. We all are God. There's nothing wrong with saying that, and there's nothing wrong with trying to teach that to your children. And it's just them trying to relate it to their mom, and me saying that I'm coming from a place of not just their dad. And I'm not just your dad right now. I'm coming from that place that we all are. Like the I that is I, no matter who says it. I was trying to explain that to my kids instead of having them believe in Jehovah's Witnesses they don't even believe in that. It's just that that's what their great-grandparents are. So they asked me a question, and I tried to elaborate on what my belief is. And my belief isn't just my belief. My belief is the all-knowing. And I know that's bold to say, but I know it in my heart and soul. Some people's realities may be that they're a judge and then they go home and they watch TV and they eat dinner with their wife and their family. Some people's realities may be that they are a lawyer and they have clients and they do cases and they make money and they work for a firm and it's law because that's all, what we have written down, and that's what people say. Another pattern. So then we have a single mom with 2 kids who has an ex-boyfriend. He used to be a sex addict and a drug addict and a rock star and a rapper and a cheater and whatever they want to throw words out like that. Those are all ideas, and they were all physically acted out. Those ideas have been realized, and those physical activities have been performed, and they can't be erased. But the person who did those things is a being who has realized experience and has understood awareness and is consciousness in human form, just like we all are. But being a realized being is just doing that, doing what is vibrationally right, no matter what the people around you are doing. A judge may seem like he has a higher status than a guy who owns a bread company, who has had a spiritual experience, because people take religion and, because religion has separated into such a category. And even now, spiritual is being separated into different categories of spiritualisms. There's one all thing. So I don't know what that word is besides God. So what else do I say? The universe? God is the universe. The universe is God. Everything is that. So to me, the universe separates it into space and science. There's more to it than that. So how are you supposed to separate it? So when I go into court and I would try to explain that to somebody, or even if I tried to explain that to a person trying to give me a psychiatric evaluation, they're going to be like, he's crazy because he's saying things I've never heard before. That doesn't mean somebody's crazy. If you talk to any realized being or any guru or any whatever, and they weren't recognized as one, you would think they were crazy. Like if Sadhguru sat down and talked to a judge, a psychiatrist, a lawyer, an ex, whatever may have happened in his past. But now he's got his guru uniform that he wears. And whatever reason he does, that's his belief system, and that's real to him. And just because it's real to him doesn't make it real to anybody else. You don't have to dress a certain way or walk a certain way or talk a certain way or do a certain mantra to realize what's going on. Those are just exercises and vehicles to do so, to help one focus and to have a belief in something stronger than themselves to get them away from themselves. All those things are exactly that. Religions, spiritual practices, yoga, meditation, those are all ways to help you distract yourself or get yourself away from those distractions that take you away from what all is. And when you can focus your mind on that, you understand what all means. And time is just a representation so that we can experience it. That's what the great creator or God or the universe or the source is doing through us. This isn't just the ramble of some dude who doesn't know what he's talking about. This is a guy who is living it every moment of his life and being ridiculed for it. And trying to, act like the person he's supposed to be to the people he's around. And who am I supposed to be other than what I am? And what am I? I am God. Just like if you say, I am, what are you? Tell me. Say, I am what? And what does that mean? What are you experiencing? Are you a girl working a job, or a boy on the football team, or a man working under construction, Or are you a full-grown woman who's a shopaholic who loves bonbons and Pop-Tarts? Are you an elderly man who is retired and used to be a veteran, or is a veteran that was in a war who was injured? Are you an elderly woman who was once the daughter of a shop owner, of a immigrant who moved here from Russia and started a family and moved here from another place, and we're all one? How does anybody not understand that? I mean, everybody, if they really listened and opened their heart, they would truly understand, including the judge, the lawyer, Brittany, everybody. I love them in a way they wouldn't understand. And that's fine. It has to be. Because you can't make people understand. It doesn't mean they're dumb or stupid or whatever. It just means that they're not open. They've shut that off. Their vibration has been cut in some way by the distractions of the outside world. And they don't even know what their inside is telling them because they don't listen to it. They just go with the flow, like most people. Go with the real flow of what life is. Go with the flow of Source. Go with the flow of the universe. Go with the flow of God. Don't go with the flow of trends. Don't go with the flow of government, especially people who are telling you what you have to do. We all know that makes no sense, but then we follow along with it anyway in fear. I'm not going to go too much into that, but just open your heart and learn to love and be what we really are. We are the universe. And when we die, we create our own. Our power and our potential is so huge, we don't even understand it. I understand it, but I still haven't experienced it all because I'm still here to do this to help everybody else first. And I'll do it as long as I can without being ridiculed or put through too much personal pain. My own children don't want to see me because their mom doesn't believe what I'm saying and makes me sound crazy. And she's going to go to a court and get lawyers and judges to agree with her because I'm not going to back down from what the truth really is. Because they themselves even need to know it. Or else they're going to die and they're going to come back for another life going through another period of grief and stress because they didn't get it. And that's just my personal experience. Every person going through a problem right now, an inner city ghetto person, an inner a beggar on the corner, a homeless person, a refugee, a starving child in a foreign third world country. they all need to know this, because this is what is happening to us. They don't have to go through this pain anymore. We can all work together as a world, not just as a family, as a couple, as any of those individual ideas. That's why I'm not trying to put down relationships, but at the same time, we're not supposed to just love one person. People are too attached to sexual intercourse and their emotions being affected and their feelings being hurt, that they don't really understand what love really is. They're just addicted to emotions, and they're addicted to the feelings that people give them, instead of realizing that we're all meant to love each other. We're not all meant to have sexual intercourse with each other, but even if more than one and one do it, it doesn't matter. You can have an orgy and it can be love, but people don't have that clear mind to do that. They have lust, and they have, smut on their head, basically. But that's okay too. You gotta love them, because what's the point of not loving them? It's only going to propel them to do more harm to themselves and others. Anyway, I love you guys very much, and I always will, no matter how much pain I have to go through to make my message be heard, because it's for the eternal I. It's not for Dan. It's for the you inside of you. It's for the I inside of all. No matter how old, young, male, female, happy, sad, whatever you are, this message is meant for you.